Is your money safe? With banking troubles making headlines for the last week, we're all wondering what's happening next. So here was some insight for us is financial advisor Rick Salmeron of Salmeron Financial in Dallas. We really appreciate you being here.
My pleasure to be here. Thank you for having me.
The question we have heard all week, hair on fire, is my money safe? So if somebody calls you and asks that question today, what would you tell them?
Short answer is yes. If you have money in the bank less than $250,000, you have nothing to worry about.
Okay.
Because that's what the FDIC insurance protection is all about. As long as your bank is a member of the FDIC, you are good to go.
Yeah, and that should have been a question that you asked just as a banker in general to make sure that your bank is a part of FDIC.
For sure. We can take it for granted. We hear, oh, FDIC insurance, and most banks are covered by the FDIC insurance. However, it's a good idea to ask to make sure.
Absolutely, but there are some things that are not covered through FDIC,
Absolutely.
even if you're with a banking institution that has that insurance.
Absolutely, and these would be investment-related products that can lose value, such as stocks, bonds, mutual funds, ETFs, life insurance, cryptocurrency. These are examples of products that, regardless of how little or a lot you have money in those, they will not be protected by the FDIC, even if you acquire those at a bank.
Yeah. Here in North Texas, we have a lot of smaller banks, a lot of smaller credit unions that a lot of people utilize. Are they in jeopardy when you see what's happened with the bank in California and now the bank in New York?
I don't really see that. Again, if you have deposits that do not exceed $250,000, you really have very little to worry about. Even with the credit union. Now, credit unions are not FDIC eligible. However, there is a federal agency that's very similar that covers those deposits at the same amount.
Okay.
So,
but you're saying that people's money is safe, and we're hearing that, but you can imagine the firestorm that was caused after what we saw over the weekend and then this week as well. The stock market has been reacting to it as well. How did we get here? How was a banking institution of that size able to get to where they did?
Yeah, this story with Silicon Valley Bank is very unique. Their customers were not Joe and Jane Smith.
Us Main Streeters.
Exactly. They were high-tech, large-sized businesses. Think Roku, Etsy, Pinterest, these types of companies that are needing and requiring millions and millions and millions of dollars of deposits handy. So what SVP did was, like any bank, they received their deposits. That's their main source of revenue. They're going to invest that money in other ways so that they can grow, so that they can make money, so they can better serve their clients. Their mistake was investing it in a manner that was wrong. Now, I don't blame them for investing. It's like, as I said, buying a turkey at the grocery store for Thanksgiving and not putting it in the oven.
Who does that?
Who does that? No. So banks are going to do that. However, in SVP's case, their investment strategy took that money from this and it shrunk down to that in a very short period of time. And it happened to be at this moment that their customers were also coincidentally knocking on their door asking for withdrawals, which has caused the scramble within SVP. So this is unique because their customers, again, are not Joe and Jane. They are high-tech, high-flying types of companies that need large amounts of money that far exceed the $250,000 that we all enjoy as individuals.
Yeah.
So it was really a fault of the bank's investment decision. They were just not wise with how they handled their money.
Speaking of investments and being wise with the way that we handle our money, so we always hear this word diversify, and it's always important to diversify your money and get that. There are a lot of people out there in North Texas who are saying, listen, the best I can do is put some money in a 401k and that be it. Well, the last few months, the last year, if you look at it, it's been a little bit scary. Some days we have really, really great days. Some days we have really, really bad days. And some people are like, you know what, I'm not going to play this game anymore. What would you tell them?
You need to have a long-term investor mindset with a 401k, with any kind of long-term investment plan that you have. When you know what's coming, you don't get surprised. You don't feel the fear. And we know, looking back in history, and that's the only guide that we have, that the machine that's called the stock market, which is one of the strongest ways to accumulate wealth, has always been an up and down ride. It always has.
It's a roller coaster none of us can get off of.
No, the problem is it's hard. It's not hard. It's impossible to time it just right.
Yeah.
So my view is be a long-term investor, stick with it, don't worry about it, focus on other areas of your life so that you can know what you've got is going on an automatic pilot, because this is the normal, natural behavior. And I would also add that when the stock market goes down, think of it in the opposite direction. Do not get scared, feel excited. This is a moment to buy.
Yeah.
This is a potentially moment to take advantage of lower prices. Now, if you feel like the prices are down and they're going to stay down forever, that's another story. However, they've never done that. Looking back in history, they've always been a temporary decline, waiting for new highs after that. Whenever that is, I don't know. However, in the philosophy of buying low and selling high, years like last year, days like, say, yesterday, were opportunities to take advantage of that step one of the two-step process.
Rick has ice in his veins. We need to do the same thing. My last question for you would be, Rick, a lot of people have lived through 2008. Is this the same thing as 2008?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
It should make you feel just a little bit better. Rick, I know I feel better just for talking to you. Thank you so much for being here.
You're welcome.